This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Good morning with Jamie Lent and Brendan Riker. I'm Chuck Heinz. Thanks to have you with us today on the Morning Drive. Take your thoughts and comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to the Double T 97.3 mobile app. It's presented by Happy State Bank. We talked about the Rangers weekend, in which they got swept, so no bueno for them. They find themselves this morning 4.5 behind the leaders of the American League West, which are the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners. The Astros fell yesterday to the Dodgers, and the Mariners were winners over the Chicago White Sox 6-3.
Yeah, one of the disappointing parts about the Rangers there is that you really wanted, with Chance playing the Blue Jays, really wanted to make some hay against a team that looks like they're pretty much all out at this point.
Especially after what you had just done to the White Sox. I mean, I realize they're in the throes now of a 14-game losing streak, but at least you took 4 from them, and then you couldn't do anything to Toronto. So it's just really disappointing what took place there. Meanwhile, the Astros they fell to the Dodgers, like I said, but they still find themselves in first place, tied with Seattle. 6-2 was the final there, and now they'll have a chance to go make a little hay as they take on the Pittsburgh Pirates, who aren't exactly, I don't think they're lighting things up. Well, they're 7 back. They're a game over 500. They're 53-52 on the season. So do you think now that the Rangers become either seller, not necessarily sellers per se, but maybe stand patters, or maybe somebody just really offered them the earth and the moon and the sky and the sun and everything for a guy like Evaldi or somebody like that they would make a move, but they're not necessarily going to go out and say, hey, we're all in, right?
Well, I don't know what the situation is with John Gray. I mean, if you're losing John Gray, I surely am not trading another starting pitcher also.
Sure.
So I wouldn't be sellers. I don't know that I would be major buyers either, but I if you have an opportunity to tweak without making major changes and giving up too much, I still think you continue to do that. Rangers still need a right-handed bat that they've been looking for, so I think that could still happen. But I don't know that you're in a situation where you jump either way, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So, like I said, you're 4.5 back in the divisional race, and you're 6 back out of the last wild card spot. So it's not like it's a disaster, but it's not like it's like, hey man, feel like we got a chance here. But I mean, I'll tell you what, one thing they're doing is, I realized this past weekend was on the road, they're selling a lot of tickets there at the old ballpark in Arlington. So the fans are coming out in throws.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's good. I mean, it's good at the box office. It's good at the cash register for the Texas Rangers. The win-loss column, maybe not so much. What's your take on the Olympics so far?
Well, it's been fun.
Have you spent a lot of time with it?
Decent amount.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I have too. I'm kind of, I guess I would tell you that I'm in it now. I watched some of the opening ceremonies, and then spent quite a bit of time watching the swimming over the weekend. I thought that was really, really good. The other sports, I mean, you get kind of exposed to stuff that you don't normally sit down and watch. I mean, I saw a highlight from badminton, which was just crazy. I mean, how fast those guys hit that thing and how quick their reactions are. I mean, it's not the badminton like you played in your backyard.
Well, there's a different level of skill, yeah.
But I mean, you can.
I would tell you it's the same thing with swimming too.
Sure,
it's not the swimming you do.
Oh no,
some may think they could be Olympic swimmers, but
not at all.
It's the same thing with basketball and ping pong and everything else.
But I mean, the badminton.
There's no the sports that are not normal for us to see on an everyday basis.
Yeah,
it absolutely really jumps out at you how talented they are and how difficult they do it.
Well, and just how much how hard they train and all. Just how much they give of themselves. And then just the pride that they take in competing for their country, and whether it's the United States or others, and then the pride that they have when they win. Hey, a big tennis match today. Is this kind of appointment stuff for you today?
Yes, but I don't hold out much hope. I just Rafa right now is not where he needs to be to compete with Novak. So I'm kind of one of those deals where I want to watch it, but I don't expect good things. Yeah,
he was dealing with an injury, Nadal was, and there was some thought that he may not play in the singles, but apparently he decided to go ahead and do that. Won his opening match, and now faces Djokovic. And they've met 59 times, and Djokovic leads the series 30-29. They have not played against each other, though, since the 2022 French Open quarterfinal. They're at Roland Garros, and they'll be playing there again today, where Nadal has had quite a bit of success. But like you said,
yes, it's really his surface. That's the benefit that you have. But I just think Djokovic is playing much better right now than Nadal is.
Yeah, that's really too bad. It's just disappointing. One bit of sportsmanship that I saw, which I thought was just awesome, which I think you'll appreciate. The U.S. men's team got the first gold on Saturday. They won the 4x100 meter freestyle event, it's a relay. And in that event, Caleb Dressel won his 8th career gold medal. He did not swim in the preliminaries, which is not uncommon. Some did, some didn't. And so the guys that swim in the preliminaries also get a gold medal. They don't necessarily get to stand on the stand with the winners. But Dressel, after he got his gold medal, he said he went over and put that gold medal on one of the preliminary swimmers who had not yet received his, and it was his first ever gold medal. And anyway, he wanted him to be able to experience that and have that gold medal right there. And so he gave him the one that was given to him on the medal stand, which I thought was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Really, really cool. So that was interesting. The other thing that was interesting about this 8th gold medal is the record for gold medals overall is Michael Phelps. He has 20 something, but a guy that's tied for second, and just in terms of gold medals, is a familiar name, Jamie, to this day in sports history listeners here on Double T 97.3. So Michael Phelps overall has 13 gold medals. Okay, he's number 1. And then second is a guy named Ray Erie. Okay, he's competed from 1900 to 1908 with 8. Okay, but then our friend Paavo Nurmi, he is in there as well, and he is tied in there with people that have gold medals. Paavo Nurmi had a total of 6 gold medals in his career. So. Nice. That was pretty cool to see. I was like, I know that name, Paavo Nurmi, because they showed the graphic. I was like, I know that name, Paavo Nurmi. So overall, he's 7th with 6 gold medals in history of the Olympics, both the winter and the summer.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Good morning with Brennan Riker and Jamie Lent. I'm Chuck Heinz. We'll have baseball on the air for you tonight as the Rangers are in St. Louis to take on the Cardinals. 6 o'clock, the broadcast time, 6:45, first pitch today from St. Louis. Also, tonight from Houston, the Astros and the Pirates will do battle. First place Houston Astros, I should say, Jamie.
That's right.
6:40, the broadcast time, 7:10, first pitch. Have you ever been to St. Louis?
Yes, I've been to St. Louis.
Mm-hmm. I've been. It's been quite some time. I've never really done any of the touristy things.
Me neither.
I'll just be flat out honest with you. As much as I think I would desire to go up into the arch, every time I read something about the arch and I read how tight it is at the top, I just feel like I'd get a little claustrophobic, and I don't know that I could experience that.
The elevator in the arch is 4x4x4, and they'll put about 4 or 5 people in that box and take you up to the top of the
4
arch.
4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet, so it's 4 feet tall.
Correct.
So even for you and I, Brennan, we'd have to duck.
Yes, I had to duck when we went.
So you've done it.
I have done it.
Yeah.
How did you feel about, was it tight quarters?
It was a little tight quarters on the way up, but once you get out of the elevator at the top, it's a little more open, so you can kind of walk, at the apex of the arch, kind of back and forth, and look through the window. You can look down and see the river on one side, and then on the other side, you can see the Cardinal Stadium.
Sure. They're proud of that arch. Which they should be. It's cool. It's cool looking. I certainly would like to have my own picture of it. I'd probably take a ton of pictures of it. I just don't know that I could. I just don't know that I would get up in it.
Yeah, no, that's not for me.
I'm just being flat out honest with you. I just don't know that I could do that. But St. Louis is a fun town. The ballpark downtown. I've not been to the new one, but they've traditionally had Busch Stadium downtown, and it's cool how the city embraces baseball. Obviously, they've had tremendous success over the decades there in St. Louis with the Cardinals. It's certainly a heritage team in Major League Baseball. All right. So we'll have that for you tonight, and we'll have the Astros tonight from Minute Maid. So tomorrow, Texas Tech will host its media day. Okay, and you'll have players and coaches alike that will be talking about the upcoming football season. Here's a question for you, Jamie. Is there a question that is just burning that you would like Coach McGuire or Coach DeRuyter, Coach Kitley, or even Coach Kenny Perry to answer, that you don't really know the answer to, that they could kind of shed some light on something?
Maybe. I guess we're kind of back to one of these, but I feel like we've all spent a lot of time wondering and worrying about Baron Morton's health, but maybe the same question could be asked about Micah Hudson. Mm-hmm. After having surgery and all that good stuff, how is he? Is he at 100%? Is he ready for full contact? All of those things.
Yeah, and then are you? Because really, we're at a point now where it's the questions that you would have could be defensive line, your ability to put pressure on the quarterback. That's something that you brought up quite a bit this offseason. The loss of the leaders on the defense and how you replace those guys. Like the health of Baron Morton, that's really going to be played out on the field. It's not really something you can analyze until you get to game day.
Yeah, we've already asked Coach DeRuyter those questions.
Yeah.
They've already been asked and answered.
Right. Yeah. Now, are they going to change?
I wouldn't guess he's going to be like, no, I told you guys before, I like our depth. I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to surprise some folks. But now that I think about it, man, I was way over the top there. I hope we'll be okay. We might need to outscore a lot of teams this year. Yeah.
Right.
I don't think his answer is going to change.
Yeah. What do you think's going to be the question for Zach Kitley more than anything else? Is it the balance of the offense?
I would guess that, and the tight ends. Do you foresee them being used in the passing game a lot more than you have been? over the last couple of seasons? Do you see those guys making more catches this season than they've had in the last couple of years?
And a lot of that's going to be predicated on how good is your offensive line.
Some of it, yep, absolutely.
And it's like, so last year, the conversation we had with Coach McGuire felt like, hey, offensive line can be a strength. Well, there was part of it that was a strength and part of it that wasn't. Now, they've retooled the offensive line, which you're always going to be, I think, tinkering with your offensive line to a certain degree. But, man, if they can keep Baron Morton upright and allow Taj Brooks to do what he's been able to do, what he was able to do last year, then that's going to go a long ways to telling you, hey, they have kind of fixed the offensive line, so to speak.
Yeah, nothing anybody says about that can really
change
how people feel. You just got to see them play and see how they're doing, and I don't think Abilene Christian's going to answer it either.
Probably not even Washington State. Maybe Washington State might answer it a little bit.
A little bit, but I mean, I think you'll be closer to Cincinnati and Arizona before you start, climbing up on the podium and saying, hey, our offensive line is good this year.
It's a gold medal offensive line, or something along those lines. Climb up on the podium.
That's the thing. In years past, you go back to the 80s or whatever, and coach would come back after off season, whether this be NFL or college football, and you'd have these opening press conferences, and there would be all this information that would spew out of there, right? That, oh, I didn't know this guy's on the team now, or this guy's hurt, or this guy's status. We find everything out every day, whenever immediately it happens. So things like this, especially for, I'm not trying to poo-poo media day for the Red Raiders, but I mean, Joey McGuire just answered all these questions 2 weeks ago or whatever in Vegas. And so what are you going to get new?
That's on us to be creative.
Okay. And that's usually when the dumb stuff comes.
That's potentially you're right.
Ask him how he was leaving Vegas and heading to Colorado to golf. So ask him how his golfing went in Colorado.
Okay, yeah. All right. Did you get a hole in one? Of the athletes that are going to participate tomorrow, and I'll start with the offense: Jalen Conyers, Caleb Douglas, Coy Aiken, Gino Garcia, Josh Kelly, Dre McCray, Vinny Scurry, and Mason Tharp. If you had one that you could talk to, who would be the one that you would want to talk to the most?
Probably Jalen Conyers.
Okay. I thought you might say Josh Kelly, because I think he's on that list as well, because I think there's a part of me that wonders, with the Conyers edition and the Micah Hudson edition, is Josh Kelly kind of getting left on the side a little bit in terms of, because I think he's going to be pretty productive for you this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he is getting left on the side. I think people expect him to be a real star.
No, I mean just in terms of the people talking about it.
Yeah, no, I think people are talking about it.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Him and Conyers both.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the defensive side, Joseph Adedire, C.J. Baskerville, DeBraylon Carroll, Quincy Ledet Jr., Braylon Lux, Ben Roberts, Isaac Smith, or Joseph Plunk. Who would you want to talk to?
Ben Roberts.
Ben Roberts, okay.
Just excited about the fact that you have two really good linebackers. Yep.
And they may
those guys are so important.
They may come into play quite a bit for you.
They may?
Well, I mean, they may.
I think like every defensive play, they'll be out there. Yeah, they'll come into play. All right.
Come into play. Yeah. Come into play. You'd hope that they come into play in a positive way. Is really what I meant by that. Okay. Here on the Morning Drive, Jamie's got a question for all of us. That's next.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Next, Jamie's question of the day.
Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, Chuck, Brendan, and our fine listening audience, I want you to go through the first 3 games of the season. So this is kind of an odd question.
Oh, good. I like odd questions.
I want you to just go through these non-conference games here. And I want you to tell me the margin of victory in each of them, or you can give me about the score if you want. If you want to say it's going to be 45-50, I just kind of want you to predict those first 3 games and just see the reason I'm asking the question. I just want to see how easy or not easy we all expect these first 3 to be, the non-conference games.
I feel like this is a trick trap question.
No, that's it. Face value right there. That's
I know, but I mean, let's start looking at this, and I mean, I'll just say this. I'll give you the numbers that immediately came into my mind. Okay.
Okay.
Abilene Christian 31. Now we happen to play them on August the 31st, but 31 was what came in my mind.
Go ahead and throw me a score too. I think that would be more fun.
31. Okay, so 60-30. Well, no,
that's fine. That's close. You're good. You're good.
Okay,
I know.
60-59. Okay, 60-59.
That's 1.
I mean 60 to 29. I'm sorry.
What?
60-29. Okay.
Just give the score, and then that way you can't be wrong at math.
Okay. 60 to 29 ACU.
It's my fault for asking a difficult question.
I told you it was going to be. I was going to make it hard.
You really think we're going to give up 29 to Abilene Christian?
Yeah, because they'll put in the scrubs in the fourth quarter. And they got scholarship players too. I mean, it'll be one of those deals where, we scored 60. Barrett looked great, But that defense, man, we gave up 29. Okay, Washington State.
Wait, let's all go one game at a time.
Okay,
Brendan, what do you got for Abilene Christian?
49-3.
Okay. I'll take 55-10. If they get more than 20, I'm going to be really disappointed. I feel like 1 touchdown could happen.
Okay. I just feel like we're going to get a little leaky there at the end.
Yeah, but anybody that's third string for us you would like to think would probably be a starter for them.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. But still 31 points. I mean, you have it at 45 and Brendan has it at 46 and mine is only 31. Okay. All right. So the next one is Washington State. All right. Washington State. 28-21.
Okay. Us?
Yes.
I'm kind of on a similar page. I'm going to go 28-17.
Okay. I'll take 34-24.
34-24 versus Washington State. This is Brendan and Jamie. Okay. Now we get to North Texas. Okay. I'm on record saying we're only going to win this game by 10. And I'm going to stick with that. We're only going to win this game by 10. And I think we're going to win this game 30-20. And it's going to be a game in the second. At some point, it's going to be a game halfway through the third quarter.
Okay, Brennan?
42-14.
And I got 44-17.
44-17. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
But I hope you're right that we win.
Yeah, right. But I mean, I hope I'm wrong that it's a game in the third quarter. That it's a 10-point game. 10-point game. Hey, on the back of the sheet that I just made notes on, we did predictions on March the 29th. Okay?
Of what?
Of the season. We did the season. We did predictions on March the 29th. You, me, and Jeff. Would you like to know what your record was on March the 29th? You are the model of consistency.
I'm going to guess 8-4.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
8-4. You had losses to Arizona, TCU, Iowa State, and Oklahoma State. Jeff had Tech at 8-4. He had losses to Arizona, Oklahoma State, Baylor, TCU, or Iowa State. Okay. And I had Tech at 9-3 with losses to Arizona, Iowa State, and Oklahoma State. That was on March the 29th.
I like yours better.
I do too. I sure wish one of us had at least picked a win against Oklahoma State, but I think that's going to be the toughie on the schedule. 7:37 this morning here on the Morning Drive. If we are giving up 29 to ACU, we have problems.
I completely agree.
Okay.
I completely agree.
It's week one. It's getting out there. It's you may take your foot off the gas at some point in time. May give up a trash touchdown here or there. That's really kind of what I'm saying.
Here or there doesn't get you to 29.
Okay. I mean, we've struggled with these types of teams before, no matter who the head coach is.
We have at times.
So, I mean, I'm just saying 29 at this point in time. So, let's see. We get this from the Yates Flooring Center chat line with regard to the St. Louis Arch. Robert says, I've been on top of the Arch. Good for you, Robert. And we get this. I lived in St. Louis. I went up in the Arch once. Never again. I hate heights. Yeah.
I don't hate heights as long as my feet are on the ground.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like looking over ledges and all that, but I have to have my feet on the ground.
Would you go up on a building that's, 100 plus stories in the air that has a clear bottom?
No.
Okay.
What about amusement parks? Like where, your feet kind of dangle?
I don't like roller coasters and all that, no.
Okay.
I'm pretty much a wimp for that kind of stuff.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Bobby Hot Dog says this. JL, I saw some badminton highlights yesterday, and it looked a lot like pickleball. Do you have
This is the Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Love watching it as well. I don't have disdain for pickleball, just the pickleballers that don't pick up their mess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's anybody, right? It's not just pickleballers. It's anybody that you don't care for that they don't pick up their mess.
Yeah.
I get you.
Mm-hmm.
Here on the Morning Drive, good morning with Jamie Lent and Brendan Riker and Chuck Heinz. Thank you for joining in with us today and your participation today on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Couple things. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line off the Double T 97.3 mobile app presented by Happy State Bank. There's a gentleman that works at our hospital that wears a kilt every day. He always looks nice, but it's quite noticeable in Plainview, Texas. Well, I think he'd be noticeable in Lubbock, Texas, too, because he stood out at the grocery store to me on Saturday. I mean, there were a lot of people at the grocery store. I didn't see anybody else that really stood out to me. Okay.
He wouldn't have stood out at the, let me use this term loosely, freak show they called the fashion show in the opening ceremonies.
Yeah, right.
What were we doing there?
I have no idea. I didn't catch all of it. I caught some of it. I've seen the spark of.
There's not one piece of clothing that anybody would ever wear ever. I don't know how it's called a fashion show.
Right.
I don't know what was going on there. That was a bit of a mess.
That was a bit of a mess, yes. And I
felt bad for the people involved.
And as a traditionalist, I really don't like the type of cauldron that they used for the Olympic flame.
It was different.
A hot air balloon with fire around it. I'm still trying to figure that one out. So
as was the torch they were all carrying, that was different too. But
yeah.
it didn't bother me either way.
Yeah.
I just thought it was different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This got to take a picture of my soon-to-be Red Raider daughter on the field last night with the Double T scoreboard in the background. The stadium is looking awesome.
Nice.
I love that. That's cool. I'm glad you got to do that. That's really cool. Those are special times. I have PTSD from Wyoming last year. This is from Cactus on the Brazos. This team and staff need to prove a lot on the road this year. However, even with the loss at Washington State, I still have this team going 8-4, 6-3 in the conference.
Well, I like your 8-4 better than my 8-4 then, because that would mean you lose in a non-conference game rather than losing to one of your rivals in the conference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. Carl, still in Lubbock, says this. Same here, Jamie. All the letters of my signature are legible. Jamie responded by saying, I think that means you are officially not a psychopath. Okay. I guess that means that I potentially am a psychopath, which, I mean, I think I have some of those tendencies from time to time.
I guess if you're just writing for yourself and you can read your own writing.
Yeah, I take notes, right? I take notes all the time.
Then it doesn't matter how you write, right?
Yeah.
It's just for you anyways.
Right.
But if you were writing for other people to be able to read it.
I would try to make sure that people could read it.
Yeah, I think that there should be a little bit of effort to do that.
Yes, I agree with you. Right.
If I have to struggle to read,
right.
even if I can eventually figure it out, if I have to struggle to read, I'm just like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
I can't do handwritten notes like in class. I gotta type because I can't keep up. First of all, when I handwrite, but if I type it, I can keep up.
Can you read your own writing, Brennan?
On the computer, yes. With the handwriting, not so much.
I can take notes, I think, better than I could take notes on a computer. I take handwritten notes all the time. I do that every day. Now this guy has a nickname. Kilt Man shops at that Market Street quite a lot. I've seen him a few times.
Well,
Kilt Man. I'll, you know what I'm going to bet here? He didn't say anything to me because I don't think we didn't exchange pleasantries or anything, head nods or anything like that. But I'm curious as to if Kilt Man's a Morning Drive listener.
You should ask.
Yeah, if he's a Morning Drive listener. Don't know. I was in the grocery store several times this weekend. I don't know that I ran into any Morning Drive listeners.
I think it's great that he wears a kilt and he has every right to do that.
Sure.
I'm just going to probably tell you that if Choice or Chuck or Clint shows up in a kilt, we're probably going to put a policy in place that you can't wear kilts.
No kilts?
No kilts.
No kilts. Huh. No kilts.
Yeah.
No kilts.
It's part of his history and his background and all that. Have at it.
Yeah.
I mean, Clint looks like a kilt would absolutely fit the beard and everything.
Right.
He looks like that would, yes.
He could get away with the kilt.
Pass. No, he can't. No, he cannot.
He could.
I'm saying he would look right in one, but he cannot.
He cannot. Okay. It's kind of like the bow tie, you know. There's only a handful of people, like less than 3, that really look good in a bow tie in this town. I'm thinking really 2. Okay, 2. I was at a place the other day, and they're like, hey, we've got these bow ties. And I'm like, are they real bow ties or are they like fake ones? And they're, the ones that are already done up, like you get at the tuxedo shop. And it was like, then this person goes, do you know how to tie this? I go, nope. And I just don't feel like I can pull off the bow tie.
I think there are certain clothing items that only, and this is not me fat shaming or anything like that, but I think there are certain clothing items that look better on certain people compared to others.
Yes.
For example, suit coats. Mm-hmm. I think if you have like broad, wide shoulders, you look a lot better in a suit coat than you do if you do not, which I do not. Okay. I'm sure if you paid an expensive tailor to make it for you, they could make it look, good enough or whatever.
Sure.
If you, I think you gotta have some size and wide shoulders to you to look good in a cowboy hat. I mean, scrawny little dudes like me wearing a cowboy hat, you just look out of place. It just doesn't look right.
How about Brendan? How would he look in a cowboy hat? Could he get away with it?
I probably not.
He looks like a guy. He looks like a mutton buster or a calf roper or something like that.
So that's one of the reasons I don't wear a lot of coat jackets, because I just don't feel like I look good in them. I think the same thing with bow ties or whatever. I think certain people look good in it. I mean, others don't. I just,
If someone asked me to wear a cowboy hat, but the caveat was I had to do mutton busting, I'd probably decline respectly.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. You look like a guy that could do that, though. Like we could put you over to the post rodeo, and you probably could.
Yeah. I probably could.
Probably could.
I think there's an age limit on those, though.
Yeah. I also feel like if you've got a little gut on you, the coat jacket's not it's not your friend.
It's not your friend.
It's not your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not your friend. You got to be.
What I've just never understood, and is why the TV people insist on the guys buttoning the jacket, even though it's clear that it's straining.
Or it looks too tight.
Yeah, it's straining. I mean, it's like, I can't tell you how many times I've done something on television, on a game on TV, and they're like, we need you to button your button. I don't want to do that. We need you to button your button.
Well, in that situation, don't they just need to buy a bigger jacket so it doesn't look straining?
Yeah, I guess. Sometimes you put that jacket on, you think you're okay. and then some.
See, that would be me.
Some producer says, "Hey, I need you to button the button."
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to recognize when I don't look good in certain things. Anything that's form fitting or whatever. It's not my friend.
I understand.
And so I think as humans, we have to be able to recognize that. Walking around, some people have a hard time realizing what's not best for them. So
no doubt.
You got to figure that out, right?
No doubt. Yeah. All right. We'll get some things off the Yates Flooring Center chat line. I do want to discuss this Jerry Jones, Mike McCarthy, lame duck situation, and the contracts with Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. We'll get to that next year this morning on the Morning Drive.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Here on the Morning Drive, good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Dallas Morning News has reported that they feel like that Dak Prescott's deal is going to get done before the season starts. That they've got two sources that have told them that's going to get done, and maybe even the CeeDee Lamb one too.
Okay, well, good.
So,
Cowboy fans can be excited to know what they have to look forward to the next couple of seasons, which is not going to be good enough. It's going to be really impressive, look good, and all the above, but you're not going to be able to put together a full team of quality depth with Dak Prescott earning the money he's about to get.
Yeah, no question. And you just kind of wonder, man, why are they hell bent on doing that?
Because they don't want to go backwards. They don't want to reset.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I just kind of look at this and go, well, how are they going to be able to? I mean, I get the whole deal of, feeling like that they've got to sign him and all those kinds of things. But man, it sure seems like they could. It feels like too that there's no give on Dak's part either. I mean, that feels disappointing to me. I mean, I guess it's easy for me to say because I'm not the guy that's, standing there going, hey, Jordan Love got this deal and Tua Tagovailoa got this deal, and my numbers are better than theirs, right?
Yeah.
And so you go, well, how can you expect him to take less? But according to the Dallas Morning News, two people with knowledge of the discussions say that both CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott will be signed before the team opens up the regular season against Cleveland in September. Stephen Jones told reporters that the Cowboys had given their latest offer, it's not the last one, to CeeDee Lamb on Friday. So there were no specifics listed on that. But the sticking point, as I told you earlier, is maybe the guarantee aspect of this. So the numbers ahead of CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson from Minnesota, his average salary is $35 million a year. A.J. Brown's is next, an average of $32, and then it goes down from there. And there's two guys that are at $30 million, including Tyreek Hill. Jefferson got $110 million. Brown got $84 million. And so that, what they call this $26 million gulf, is what the two sides are trying to negotiate on. Mm-hmm. Okay, in terms of how much is going to be guaranteed. Stephen Jones also said that he had sent an offer to Prescott earlier in the week, but that came before Tua Tagovailoa and Jordan Love had agreed to extensions on Friday. So don't know where that offer was compared to what those two guys got, or if that changes the number for Dak Prescott in terms of where he was, because the three quarterbacks, Love, Jacksonville's Trevor Lawrence, and Cincinnati's Joe Burrow, now sit at an average of $55 million. Tagovailoa and Jared Goff, who also reached into this offseason, according to this article, are at $53 million. The latest offer to Prescott puts him in the window in terms of average salary to people who have seen the offer confirmed. Now, the question is that going to be enough? But think about that amount of money. It's craziness.
It is big money.
It is big money.
Yeah. And when you think about just a few years ago, less than 5 years ago, Tom Brady was leading teams to championships, making in the low 20s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no question. So at any rate, that's where the Cowboys stand, at least right now. At least Prescott's in camp. I mean, Jordan Love, now CeeDee Lamb's not in camp. Jordan Love was in camp but not practicing prior to his deal with getting done with the Packers. So presumably now he's back in camp. And Lamar Jackson finally went through a full practice without being sick over the weekend. So,
okay.
Well, apparently him in practice, I don't know, the bug just kind of gets to him. Apparently he missed practice a number of times last year during the season because of sickness, quote, sickness.
Mm-hmm.
I probably shouldn't question that. If somebody's sick, they're sick.
I would guess so.
If somebody says they're sick, they're sick. Let's see. Chuck, you have been trying to fire Mike from day one. Oh, Mike. Okay. I say they go 9-8, and he's coach of the year because of what they let go and what they didn't do in free agency. He will be back. Jerry will do it begrudgingly.
I don't think 9-8 is going to get you coach of the year.
Let Dak get the hell knocked out of him a few times, then remind him if he hadn't been so greedy, they could have had
better offensive line.
Yeah, upgraded his protection. And I meant to Google this yesterday. Who I haven't heard a whole lot about is Terrence Steele. I wonder how he's doing in his recovery from his injury. He'd had that knee injury last year, and
sure.
there was some talk that he was not 100% yet. So, and maybe that's still the case. Any update on Josh Young? Speaking of injuries.
No, just he was supposed to play this weekend. That's all we know. Probably assumed it would be 10 days or something, and maybe 7 days in the minor league. So I still think that you're hoping for, soon.
Mm-hmm.
Back with the big club.
Back with the big club. Yeah, it'd be nice to have him. It'd be nice to have him back up there as well. So, do you agree with this Dallas Morning News article? Do you think CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott both get done before the season begins? That
would have been a surprise to me before today, but I assume those folks have some serious sources and all that good stuff. So I would lean towards thinking it was true. And then my guess too would be that whomever from the Dallas Morning News talked to him, let's just say it was Calvin Watkins. Whomever he talked to, the two different people, that was information that the Cowboys really wanted to get out. Mm-hmm. Hey, we're really close, so all you natives out there, all you Cowboy fans out there, all you people that are clutching pearls out there, relax, it's going to be all right. Now, if it doesn't get done, then there's going to be like, what happened here? Why didn't this get done? You said it was going to get done, but it. With regard to Lamar Jackson, he's like the kid who hasn't been sick all summer. As soon as school starts, his tummy hurts. Well, the good news is Davis Martin made it back to the big leagues over the weekend. Did he really? Good for him. Awesome news. Yeah. Good for him with the White Sox. Correct. Okay. Awesome. He really needs to get traded from there. Although, I mean, him coming off injury and coming back and all that, maybe he wouldn't have made it back to the big leagues as fast if not for the injury.
He'd probably say to you, hey, Jamie.
Or if not for the fact that the White Sox aren't very good.
It's Major League Baseball. I'm back with the big club.
Sure, but yes, but at the same time, I would imagine he wants to win too.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, somebody who read a box score says this. Josh Young got a couple hits this past weekend. Okay, good for him. Mm-hmm. Great. That's awesome. Now get him healthy and get him back to the big club too. Hey, that'll do it for us today on the Morning Drive. Thanks for all your participation today. Coming up next, it's Dan Patrick here on Double T 97.3. End of the bench on 100.7 The Score. Don't forget Tech Talk this afternoon at 3. And the Rangers and the Cardinals from St. Louis tonight at 6 on Double T 97.3. Do remember the Department Store of Human Affairs. Sports is, after all, the toy department. Have a great day, everybody.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.